Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. The week has passed by quite quick, by the way. It was a very, very interesting moment that we shared around many scientific items, and the CIESM president was accompanying us until now. I want to thank Son Altesse for being now here with us. Before we start with the traditional steps, I would like to ask our colleagues from the universities of Messina and universities and all local organizing committee to join me here. One by one, if I allow, I will call you just for thanking you, because it was a great job. We worked together. It was not always easy. So let me first call Professoressa Nunzia Carla Spanò, direttrice del Dipartimento di Scienze Chimiche, Biologiche, Farmaceutiche e Ambientali dell'Università degli Studi di Messina, componente del Comitato Scientifico, esperti ambientali dell'UNESCO. Grazie. La speaker della cerimonia inaugurale, giornalista dottoressa Silvana Paratore, delegata anche all'attività di divulgazione scientifica, redazione articoli di comunicazione con i media tradizionali, emittenti televisive, quotidiani e social media. Per favore, dottoressa Silvana Paratore. Gioele Capillo, ricercatore senior in zoologia presso il Dipartimento di Scienze Chimiche, Biologiche, Farmaceutiche e Ambientali dell'Università degli Studi di Messina. Serena Savoca, ricercatrice senior in ecologia, Dipartimento di Scienze Chimiche, Biologiche, Farmaceutiche e Ambientali, Università di Messina. Carmelo Iairia, ricercatore senior in patologia veterinaria presso il Dipartimento di Scienze Chimiche, Biologiche, Farmaceutiche e Ambientali, Università di Messina. Marco Albano, ricercatore in zoologia presso il Dipartimento di Scienze Veterinarie dell'Università degli Studi di Messina. Professore Renato Chemello, ordinario di ecologia all'Università di Palermo, coordinatore del corso di laurea in Scienze della Natura e dell'Ambiente Uni Palermo, che non sa se poteva arrivare. Sorry, he was trying to join, but I'm sure he's in the traffic, so we'll thank him virtually. ADM Congressi, la società di organizzazione eventi e congressi con sede a Messina, il suo legale rappresentante Margherita Calabrese. Complimenti, Margherita. Vorrei anche chiamare, se permette, allora nella lista mancano la professoressa Maria Violetta Brundo, delegata dal Rettore per l'orientamento in ingresso presso l'Università degli Studi di Catania, che purtroppo non ha potuto raggiungerci, la dottoressa Teresa Romeo, direttrice del Sicily Marine Center, stazione zoologica Anton Dorn, e il dottor Silvestro Greco, che abbiamo visto all'inizio e che purtroppo ha avuto un'infezione ed è rimasto a casa. Ringraziamo tutti loro. Vorrei concludere, se mi permettete, chiedendo se in sala al colonnello Greco Colonna di raggiungerci, perché mi farebbe piacere averlo fra noi come elemento essenziale del nostro comitato di organizzazione locale. And our president, the Prince Albert II, to join us before we start with the traditional moments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Grazie. No, andate. A voi. And now, we are at the traditional moment. I will soon give the floor to our president, who has now to prize the best poster, and then the second best poster. The first one. Mr. President.
Buongiorno a tutti. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, rather. The first Best Poster Award goes to Marina Chiappi for data mining on invasive species.
Marina, you know, you won 1,000 euros from CIESM with a pleasure by all of the board and the scientific council. Thank you very much.
And the special jury prize goes to Raúl González López for his poster on the Pina Nobilis.
So, Raúl, you know, you won 500 euros and a free badge for the next edition of the Congress. And I would like now, for the picture, to ask our Science Council to join. And thank the Science Council, because the work was of selection, of course, was the very last action that they did for us on a long series. So please, all of our colleagues from the Science Council, would you like to join us? And the two winners of the posters for a final picture together before we will announce the new components. Please. And the winner of the posters too, please. Venite, venite, venite. Come on, come on. Where is Raúl? Come on, come on. Thank you very much. The Science Council, stay with us, please, and the two posters, you can finally enjoy your free time. The moment arrived, Mr. President. There is a change of the guard, somehow. Shall we announce one after another the winner after voting? That will be component of our Science Council for the next triennium and will accompany me in setting priorities and acting for the future of CIESM. The Committee 1, I would like to call to join us Professor Francesco Chiocci, who got 100% of votes. Committee 2, Dr. Katrin Schröder, 95% of votes. She stays with us, which is a good. Committee 3, Vlado Tsutsulic, 58% of vote. Thank you. Welcome. Don't be afraid of the strange person. We voted, you remember, for 2 persons for this committee. So now we have, no, sorry, is the next one where I will make a bit of improvisation with the person. We have only one committee chair for the C3 and 1 committee chair for the C4. The winner is Monia El Bour, 100%. Who is also reconfirmed. And now exactly the C5 where you voted for 2 people. So we have the first, Juan Gil Herrera with 53% of votes. And second, reconfirmed, Mohamed Ishem Kara, 43% of votes. And last but not the least, Committee 6, we have Christian Gorini avec 60% of votes. I would like, after one picture all together, to ask our old friends and still colleagues and friends for the future, hopefully, to leave the floor, and then we can have a picture with a new Science Council. Okay. An important moment arrives. I please ask all participants to respect this moment, very emotional for many of us. And I will ask everybody to go back. The Prince Albert, please, to relax a moment, because I will be emotional. I don't want so many people to hear. I will then meet you in a few minutes. Grazie a voi. The moment arrived to celebrate a person who did a lot for CIESM and for science in general. Frédéric Briand, former General Director of CIESM, has been a promoter of collaboration between peoples of the Mediterranean for years through an intense activity of scientific diplomacy. He studied economics and oceanography at the University of Paris and obtained a PhD in marine ecology from the University of California. He spent his early professional career in Canada investigating marine ecological systems in the Pacific, Atlantic, and Caribbean seas, where the highly relevant results of his pioneer research on marine food webs were published in the most prestigious scientific journals. Upon his return to Europe, Frédéric was head of conservation science at IUCN, at the time UNESCO Director for North Africa. In 1991, under the impulsion of Prince Rainier and Professor Dumonge, who were determined to see CIESM regain preeminence in the international arena, the CIESM board appointed Frédéric Briand to the position of Director General. From 1995 onward, the Director General launched a number of major publications, till very few months ago, covering emerging issues in order to enhance the scientific impact and international visibility of the Commission. Ahead of its time, Frédéric was also promoting transfrontier marine peace parks, aiming to facilitate co-governance of marine commons. At the same time, he was one of the longest-serving commissioners at the International Whaling Commission, the global intergovernmental body charged with the conservation of whales and the management of whaling. There, he pleaded for a holistic conservation approach, pointing out, among other things, the acoustic threats to cetaceans due to the anthropic activity at sea. Frédéric, a free mind, a visionary, committed and creative, a pioneer of research. He has provided some important and highly innovative insights where he argued, for example, in 1987, that there was a direct proportionality between the number of prey and predators. He contributed to a whole series of reforms within CIESM, such as the expansion of geographical coverage of CIESM, which saw the entry into the Commission of Croatia, Slovenia, Ukraine, and the Lebanon. He contributed to the review of CIESM procedures to accelerate the Commission's action to better focus on scientific priorities of the Mediterranean. In 1995, he contributed to the creation of the CIESM Advisory Board, with a reduction of scientific committees from 11 to 6, the election of the presidents of the committees by secret ballot by colleagues, and 3 yearly frequency of CIESM congresses. He had a long life, so I have just a During his general directorate at CIESM, the security agreement was signed on 4th December 2009, and following years of preparation, many years of residence in Principality of Monaco, a formal agreement on headquarters was concluded between the Monegasque government and the Commission, which grants diplomatic status and full independence to CIESM headquarters. The signing took place at the Palace of Monaco in presence of Board of Directors. The scientific impact of CIESM and its international visibility also improved in those years. Frédéric, a team leader who promoted and carried forward teamwork, a man capable of stimulating and motivating others to obtain the best possible result. A personality with a great sense of humor, a committed researcher who oriented his work towards ethical marine research, resulting in CIESM Charter on access and sharing the benefits of marine genetic resources, assumed as a moral commitment for CIESM. As special envoy of the Prince of Monaco, Frédéric, one of the longest-serving commissioners of the International Whaling Commission, was the chief negotiator in a 5-year diplomatic battle that ended with a consensus at the United Nations level. When the United Nations resolution on the oceans and law of the sea was formally adopted by the 70th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, he recognized for the first time the vulnerability of the world's largest ocean animals to a deadly cocktail of growing man-made threats. The new resolution calls on states and relevant international organizations to cooperate and coordinate their research efforts to reduce threats affecting large marine animals and thus better preserve the integrity of the entire marine ecosystems. And scientists, inspired by various attestations of esteem, came from personalities who are not part of CIESM. And before to start with the very next step that will confirm what I'm just reading, I just invite you to watch the movie that follows. Thank you very much. Speriamo che parte.
If you had to sum him up in one word.
A mastermind. Frédéric is a brilliant mind with a deep love and understanding for the marine environment and marine life.
I don't think there is one word to sum up Frédéric, but some descriptors that jumped to mind were straightforward, to the point there where some might say he was blunt or outspoken, but I like that.
He is carrying lots of sense of humor. Frédéric is hard worker, stubborn, but he's carrying lots of original idea. He's a very unique person.
En un mot, ça serait difficile, mais je peux dire qu'il est important pour la Méditerranée.
Alors, en un seul mot, ça c'est pas très commode, mais je dirais confiance, enthousiasme, générosité.
travaillé beaucoup sur les chaînes alimentaires, réseaux alimentaires des écosystèmes marins. Et j'ai été impressionné par ce travail qui a eu beaucoup d'influence et qui forme la plupart des papiers qui sont bien cités. Le travail sur les chaînes alimentaires des écosystèmes marins, c'était plutôt rare. Et à l'époque, M. Cohen et M. Briand ont travaillé ensemble et ils ont pu créer une façon de voir, d'examiner les chaînes trophiques et de parler de leur structure et de leur longueur. Et à l'époque, ça se faisait peu et je pense que ça a beaucoup influencé la modélisation sur les écosystèmes marins.
During his period of general director of the CIESM, Portugal, Albania, and the Russian Federation became members to CIESM. It was not that easy, but he convinced lots of people, lots of staff, lots of politicians sometimes. Frédéric is very determined when he wants to put his target. He's very determined.
Si vous voulez, la CSM que moi j'avais connue avant Malte. La CSM, c'était un réseau de scientifiques périméditerranéens, on va dire, au sens large, qui était, je ne veux pas dire comme un club, mais presque, qui avait des échanges, mais ça n'allait pas beaucoup plus loin. Et ce qu'a fait brillant, c'est qu'il l'a transformé en un outil performant, entre autres en créant une série de workshops ou ateliers et pour lesquels il vous donnait, et c'est là je reviens à la notion de confiance antérieure, carte blanche. Un chairman comme moi d'un de ces comités me disait voilà ce que je vois pour les géosciences qui pourraient être fait. Et à partir du moment où je l'exprimais et où c'était discuté un petit peu brièvement en groupe, Briand vous faisait entièrement confiance. Et il en est toujours sorti des choses très intéressantes et des rapports qui constituent, à mon avis, un des résultats fondamentaux de la CIESM dans son rôle de réseau méditerranéen.
Un autre aspect du travail de M. Briand qui m'était très utile, c'est son travail d'éditeur pour un bouquin qui documente les espèces invasives de la Méditerranée. Et ce petit bouquin, enfin c'est pas petit, oui il est petit, mais il est vraiment plein de bonnes choses, plein de détails sur ces espèces qui envahissent la Méditerranée. Il m'a rendu extrêmement service dans les travaux que j'ai faits avec des collègues en Turquie surtout, qui sont vraiment envahis par ces espèces et qui sont vraiment néfastes. Alors, ce petit livre qu'il a édité m'a beaucoup aidé et je pense qu'il est de bien des collègues.
I didn't actually work with Frédéric since we were in two entirely different commissions, but we knew each other quite well. I think we got along quite well, and we knew that I could pick up the phone at any time if I had a question or issue that I thought I could use Frédéric's help on.
Travailler avec Frédéric Briand, c'était formidable, je dois reconnaître. À partir du moment où on avait établi des relations de confiance, la confiance était totale. Les géosciences marines n'étaient pas du tout sa partie, mais il faisait confiance aux gens qu'il avait en face de lui. Travailler avec quelqu'un qui vous fait confiance et qui vous donne carte blanche, dans le milieu, je dirais, européen de l'époque, il y a même encore 20 ans, 25 ans, c'était pas aussi évident que ça pouvait l'être dans le milieu anglo-saxon dont il venait en fait. Travailler avec Briand, formidable, je dois reconnaître.
He likes debates. But I like also debate, and most of the CIESM scientists likes debate. We are so talkative sometimes, but Frédéric was always, as I said, well balanced, and he likes teamwork.
Frédéric is very inspiring to work with, and he's someone who is bringing the best out of his colleagues and the best possible results. And he has a great sense of humor. Frédéric was instrumental to bring the human citation health issue and environmental threats on the agenda of the IWC. He was one of the very few commissioners who never hid behind the excuse that something was outside of scope of the IWC. He always looked at the conservation of cetaceans from a holistic way.
There is one organization whose sole purpose is to protect all cetaceans in the wild. That's the IWC, the International Whaling Commission.
Every scientific catch, to me, is a dark spot on the record of this commission. We are dumping in the environment all kinds of chemicals like mercury, cadmium, lead. We have the obligation, we have a moral authority to do something about it. In a few years, we may look back and wonder what we did, allowing more and more tons of meat to be consumed. We have a moral obligation. And let it not be said that you didn't know about it. You know about it.
Legendary are his eloquent, sharp, and enriching interventions at the IWC, just as enriching as himself.
Frédéric is very determined, and this is, of course, it's put added value to the CIESM and CIESM family as well.
Ladies and gentlemen and friends, I am very pleased to have this opportunity to share with you some ideas which are quite personal, but have been shaped through the years as both my double hat as a researcher first and foremost, and also a director of a marine commission for perhaps too many years. Almost, well, yes, you are my family. You have been for many years, and of course it is always difficult to leave a family, but I don't leave it really. And Laura, and the team, president, council, our friends in the board all know that. I'd be happy to be useful if I can. To give some advice if necessary, and of course I cannot forget the way that the Principality of Monaco sort of gave me carte blanche. It was your father, quite a few years ago, who heard about me, I don't know how, and decided that maybe he could have a talk with me. So I joined him. It was just after Christmas on the winter day, of course, in the palace, and I came from Morocco, where I was leading the UNESCO programs, and I was so pleased to meet with him. And he didn't know what really it was about, and well, we we hit it immediately well, and I came to know you also very quickly thereafter. And well, we were the same, you know. I mean, we haven't changed, and so it's very important to us to know that we have a roof in Monaco, and that there's a tradition, of course, for the ocean that is also perpetuated through many other agencies there, and famous museums, the Palace of the Sea. So the proximity of all this inspired me, and to yes, move there, and just, as I said, for a couple of years to help out, and I stayed because I liked it really so much. And one of the I think the best thing we can see around the recent congresses and in this very congress is a number of young scientists, women scientists. I remember in Syracuse, no, in Venezia, you were with us, of course, Prince Albert, and the minister Prestigiacomo come to greet us and host us, and we did a little bit of quick research then, and I was so happy to show that this was a congress in 2010 when for the first time in our history, which is a long history, we had more women scientists than male scientists. And I recalled that it took until 1956, it was not only in 1956, after already 40 years almost of existence, we had the first woman scientist registered to our Congress. It shows two things, that we are a vibrant commission, and that marine sciences do attract brilliant women who now, and the trend has continued, as Laura showed a few days ago, and I think it's an irresistible trend, and this is very good for science and for us, because women are very bright and inspiring, it's clear. I mean, we don't have to say that. And the second also, well, good thing, I think, is that we see increasingly faces from what we call the South Shore of the Mediterranean Sea, the East, and this is continuing, and this has to grow, because we are one of the last oases for dialoguing between across culture, as a prince and his father have always stressed, and not so many places in the world today can offer that. A place where you have this cross dialogue in one of the most complicated part of the world puzzle. I mean, this is a places where many governments don't even talk to each other when they don't send bombs at each other. But we are one of the last places for that, and we very strongly believe in the concept of scientists for peace. And you are the reflection of that. And this, I think, has to continue. And if that can be one of my modest legacies, I'll be so pleased. So I'm not going to fade on the horizon. Because I intend to continue thinking and perhaps share things, but I don't want to show the way. You are in very good hands. Laura was really a superb choice. I mean, she knows the back kitchen also, as we say in many languages. So thank you all for supporting her as well. And I'm very touched by this show of. I did not expect anything like that. So many thanks to you. Many thanks. Merci.
Just for a picture, I'm sorry, we like pictures, we're in Italy. If the national delegates would like to join for the very last, and then I will let you go. Thank you very much. Ça, c'est...
Oui, parce que moi, j'aime pas quand c'est les bouteilles, là. Voilà. Je veux pas qu'il y ait les bouteilles. Attendez, pardon, on va se mettre... Voilà, on fait ça. Voilà, on fait ça. Ça y est, maintenant. Voilà.